Strategies that I thought the tobacco companies made up back in the 50s. Actually, some of those the sugar people had done even before that.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 secrets the food industry doesn't want you to know.
And there's some very unhealthy vegans and vegan diets. And it does depend on the quality of the food. It's not about whether you have meat on your plate or not.
For this list, we'll be ranking the most surprising and potentially negative facts about the products and practices of the food industry that are not advertised or discussed enough. Did any of these secrets surprise you? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Stilted studies. Almost every day, news programs seem to reference a new study and its impact on food consumption.
Cleveland Clinic researchers have now confirmed that food can heal your heart. Their study published in the journal Family Practice found that a plant-based diet not only prevents heart attacks, but can actually reverse the damage.
However, most of these programs also do their due diligence in separating the newsworthy wheat from the proverbial chaff. This is because a not-so-well-hidden secret is how many nutritional studies have been historically sponsored by sources within the food industry.
The industry is a money-making business, so they're very risk-averse. They're not going to fund a study that is bad for their business.
Such studies are reportedly more likely to reach conclusions that paint the industry in a good light. This isn't far-fetched, as there's clearly a lot to be gained by the meat or dairy associations from promoting the potential health benefits of their products. This isn't to say that all of these studies are false, but maybe do a little digging before you take one to heart.
The food system has serious problems. It's not doing what we need it to do, and more people are recognizing that.
Number 9. Use-by dates. The best weapon to be armed with when it comes to one's nutrition is common sense.
The best before is just a general measure to say, well, up to this date, we can't guarantee the quality of the product.
The utilization of use-by dates on food products is important, particularly when it comes to easily expirable products like milk or bread. However, the use-by dates on non-perishable food products can also be rather arbitrary and put into place by manufacturers in order to comply with legal requirements.
The dates are up to the manufacturers. There's no federal standards for food safety labeling for anything in this store except infant formula.
In other words, you probably shouldn't risk imbibing that obviously curdled milk or visibly moldy bread. However, for resilient and long-standing pantry items like cake mixes or flour, you don't necessarily need to take those expiry dates as gospel.
The NRDC estimates 9 out of 10 Americans are confused by the dates. A family of 4 throws out about $2,000 worth of still edible food every year.
Number 8. Vegan and gluten-free don't necessarily mean healthy. It's important to know whether or not a vegan or gluten-free lifestyle is right for you. Some people have underlying health issues that make this decision absolutely necessary. Other times, the pursuit of a healthy lifestyle occasionally leads those who might not otherwise go vegan or gluten-free into this world.
On average, vegans are healthier than meat eaters, but within that there's a huge range, and there's some very unhealthy vegans.
There's often a presumption that such foods are naturally healthy alternatives, but the truth is that some of these products hide saturated fats or are too heavily processed to benefit the body in any meaningful way.
But eliminating gluten from your diet if you don't need to can actually pose risks to your health. Gluten-free flours are usually very low in fiber. They also lack B vitamins and iron, which are added to traditional wheat flour.
Eating healthy means a lot of different things to different people, but labels like vegan and gluten-free aren't always intrinsically linked to achieving those goals.
And many vegans often find themselves eating ultra-processed food because of reformulating standard foods, particularly dairy substitutes and meat substitutes, that are probably as unhealthy as eating processed meats.
Number 7. Grocery layouts. There is a definite science behind how grocery stores are laid out, what's out there for sale, and where it lies with regards to your field of vision.
Is it just like a random law of physics that everything I want in the supermarket is at opposite ends?
No, it's all part of the plan. It's about getting you to move through the supermarket and go from one end to the other so that you're distracted by a whole bunch of other things.
For starters, shelf space is big business, and many established food companies actually pay what is known as a slotting fee to have their products displayed. Moreover, the customer's eye line is of great importance to stores looking to induce impulse purchases.
What they're doing is that they're signalling to you that these are important, interesting things.
Yeah, right.
And often they'll use well-known brands, for example.
Waiting in long checkout lines provides more opportunity for a buyer to idly glaze at items on display. Also, by strategically placing highly sought-after products on the bottom and top shelves, stores essentially compel customers to scan the entire shelf with their eyes as they retrieve the desired item.
I feel like I'm conscious when I'm in the grocery store, but you're telling me there's something else going on that I'm not even aware of?
A lot of the persuasion tactics that are at work in a retail space are working on your subconscious brain. You're just not aware of it.
Number 6, the energy bar game. Energy bars are a very lucrative product, yet there's often still a lot of confusion when it comes to the correct time and place to indulge.
They're certainly marketed as being healthy, but are they?
The truth is that these supplemental snacks often taste really good, primarily thanks to sugary ingredients and other stuff that really doesn't make them any less unhealthy than candy.
If you're not careful in choosing one, you might end up with one that's not so much better than a candy bar.
However, the honest-to-goodness energy bars also shouldn't just be substituted as a snack, since their design is to promote refueling for active athletes. The best bet is to just read the label and steer clear of those that contain too much sugar and calories, while lacking adequate protein or fiber.
The best way to choose a bar is to look for real ingredients like nuts, fruits, and grains rather than processed ingredients.
Number 5, intentional obsessions. You know the old Lay's potato chips saying about not being able to eat just one? That is definitely by design.
Lay's potato chips, so light, so thin, so crisp. You can eat 1,000,000 of them, but nobody can eat just one.
After all, many food companies are in business with the specific intention of getting you hooked on their product. This intentional infatuation can be found within a lot of different foods, but chips are almost certainly a prime culprit.
Let's have a wonderful time.
Food companies are constantly targeting what is known as the consumer's bliss point, the maximum level of satisfaction gotten from a particular product. By adding just the right amount of salt, sugar, and fats, the industry has made snacks like Doritos, Cheetos, and the aforementioned Lay's irresistible. And that's really the whole point.
Really? You're eating Doritos? He's eating Doritos on my ultrasound. Do you see what I have to do? I know.
Number 4, big soda. Remember what we discussed earlier about STILTED studies? Soda companies like Pepsi and Coke have come under increased pressure in recent years with regards to how their beverages affect consumers.
Drinking too many sugary sodas increases the risk of obesity, which is linked to diabetes, heart attack, and stroke.
This doesn't even take into account how Big Soda has historically helped fund various health organizations, which are intended to protect and inform consumers. Big Soda has also lobbied hard against federal restrictions on their products, despite objections to how high the sugar content is in an average can of Coke or Pepsi.
They say sodas, in moderation, can be part of a balanced diet.
Ultimately, it's important to just drink what you want, but just as important is transparency with regards to what goes on, politically and otherwise, behind the scenes.
In fact, sugary sodas are the single largest source of calories in the American diet. Even that small can has the equivalent of 10 sugar cubes in it.
Number 3, advertising. Our next secret may be dirty and little, but it's arguably also one of the worst kept. That's because it's almost a foregone conclusion that we as a society are almost constantly bombarded with advertising throughout any given day. The food industry knows this and have long employed celebrity endorsements to help sell their products.
Make fun of our exes.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Perhaps even more sinister, however, is the almost relentless and bullseye-sharp targeting of children by these same companies. If there's an unhealthy or excessively sugary snack on the market, then it's almost a foregone conclusion that it'll be marketed to kids.
Peanut butter chocolate, great when separate, but when they combine, they make the morning time epic. Morning time epic.
As a result, the best protection against this sort of commercial assault is vigilant and knowledgeable parents. Number 2, FDA workarounds. There are a lot of ways the food industry attempts to circumvent truth or facts. These can range from making intentional manufacturing errors with regards to net weight to making false claims about the effects of products on people living with conditions like diabetes.
How can you spot health fraud? Look for bold product claims, personal testimonials, and a host of promises.
Sadly, such FDA workarounds have become commonplace and can even escalate to shocking extremes. Take, for example, FDA regulations with regards to how much potentially harmful substances like rodent droppings or dyes can be included in food.
The FDA works to ensure the safety of many of the products we consume or use every day.
Since that number isn't zero, there are likely certain companies in the food industry that would include these substances if it serves to better them financially during the manufacturing process.
It's a monetary impact to the consumer and to the food manufacturers, but it's also a potential public safety, public health impact.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Sugar is everywhere. Eating a diet low in saturated fat is important, but sugar's rise as a secret health killer has been exponential over the years, and with good reason.
It's what sweetens the products and spikes the profits of some of the most powerful and familiar companies in the world.
Sugar is everywhere and can hide in foods we might not expect. Condiments like ketchup and even pasta sauces can be full of the stuff, as can fruity yogurts as well as the aforementioned energy bars and breakfast cereals.
But much of the sugar we eat is hidden in foods we don't necessarily think of as sweet.
Additionally, research from 2016 revealed that the sugar industry knew as far back as the 1950s how their product contributed to heart disease. Yet for years, fat and cholesterol received most of the attention in the public eye with regards to their negative effects on our health.
Our food supply has been altered and adulterated under our very noses and in plain sight over the past 30 years.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.